now it's almost certain that you will have to do a lot of calculus before you can get any respectable degree in economics. So that means a lot of hard work. But then what's even more important is pitching a career in the real world as a professional economist. Studying at school is one thing, but appreciating the real work of economics in the daily activities of human beings would require you to be in a position where you work and analyze real data that's coming from the markets and interpret those results. I like to say here in the Gambia, call me biased if you like, if you really want to be a sound professional economist, try have some working experience at the central bank. It's very useful. They do a lot of economic analysis. Of course, the Ministry of Finance is also a place where you can learn the trade, but I learned most of what I know in economics during my 10-year career as a research economist at the central bank.
I always say that to a lot of young people when they come back from their studies from America or England. I always tell them it's important if they can start, especially people who are into finance, if they can start at the Ministry of Finance like you just said. Well, Sabali, we will take a quick break now, but before the break, I would like to say that you can send us a text message on 655-2002 is 655-2002 if you have a question for Sabali the economist, and I have some comments on Facebook. You have some questions that you sent to us. You can keep sending them because right now we're online and I would ask him the questions. But right now, Mahmoud, if we can take a break and we would return soon.
Why? For the first time in the Gambia, Comium brings you free credit without spending a budu.
Wow. Call us Comium.
What's up, girl? Did you hear the latest greatest offer from Comium? Comium? They always come in great ways. Tell me about it. You can receive free credit without spending a butut. Oh, come on now. For real. Every minute of international call you receive, Comium will give you $3.
Call us Comium.
Also, every minute of crossnet call you receive, you will get $1.
All I have to do is ask all my friends at home and abroad to call me on my Comium line.
You know you can use the same credit to call, text, and browse the internet. Wow. Call us Comium. Okay, call us Comium.
Call us Comium. Why?
Comium. We are better together.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching The Fatu Show, and it's coming to you live from the Gambia radio and television services. I have Momodu Sabali, the economist. He's here to talk to us about economist and economy and the economy, the state of the economy, the Gambian economy, and he's here right now to discuss this with us. You're calling us. We cannot take phone calls, but you can send us a message on the number that I said before the break. Is 655-2002, 655-2002. But you can also, if you're on Facebook right now, you can send us the questions through Facebook, The Fatu Show. We are on Facebook, and it's spelled F-A-T-U space S-H-O-W. And yes, Sabali, now, what issues does a developing country like the Gambia face in sustaining economic growth? And are there any indications of sustained growth, currently?
Absolutely. I think we've been doing pretty well in managing the Gambian economy. During the past 3 years, barring 2011 when we had a crop failure, we have economic growth averaging close to 6% per annum. We have inflation under control at about 4%. Money supply is contained at the level of nominal GDP growth. And we've seen the booming of such sectors like the services, especially in the area of telecommunications. And these are all made possible because of sound macroeconomic policy that we are implementing that has been given the stamp of approval by the International Monetary Fund, with whom we currently have a program called the Extended Credit Facility.
And in a recent report published on The Economist, I saw it was being debated on the Balafong. I'm not very much into that, so that's why I didn't comment. But I've seen that the Gambia was placed 4 on the list of potential fastest growing economies for 2013. What exactly does this mean for the Gambia?
It means that we are doing things right. but it also means that we should not be complacent. More often than not, we kind of underestimate ourselves. I know we have a lot of brilliant economists in this country. That because I've not only worked in this country, I've traveled around, met central bankers all over the world, from Europe to the International Monetary Fund Training Institute. And I know we have top-notch economists here who are committed and dedicated to the work that they are doing. So the policies are going fine, and the government is creating the conducive environment for the private sector. And our relationship with development partners is also very good. They recognize the direction we are taking, and they are giving us support. And we've seen a budding spirit of entrepreneurship in the Gambia here. Not too good enough, but at least we've seen some shining examples, the Papanjais, the Os Dambers, the Mohamed Jas, really taking the initiative to take hard-earned cash and invest it into the economy. And that's the only way an economy can grow, of course, coupled with the policy environment that's created by government.
Okay. And you know, some Badibunkers like yourself did comment on the Facebook, but they're interested in knowing why the increase in the price of tapalapa. They were like, I know this question might sound a bit funny, but we want to know, you know how you Badibunkers love tapalapa.
Actually, I saw it and it was amusing to me, but you can't accuse Badibunkers of tapalapa. It's Tilibunkas. We all know it's Tilibunkas, Mburube Kaulak. It's specifically for Tilibunkas. The guy is asking for the increase in the price of tapalapa. I think I am partly responsible. At first, if I send anybody, my kids, to the shop to buy bread and they buy tapalapa, I get enraged. I always like send food, but now they have this tapalapa send food. It's very good. Even this morning, that's what I use for my breakfast. So the guy actually, I think he's a student of economics, because he said that the demand curve has shifted to the right. And that happens in economics when external forces, not just price, but external forces come into play to influence the demand for a particular commodity. So there is a change in demand. The demand has shifted, and the supply has not reacted fully yet to the increase in demand. Basic economics, if the demand rises, the price is going to go up if supply is fixed. I think it has to do with the demand, but also we know all over the world we've had increases in the cost of production, especially fuel. All of those things play a role in the prices of commodities. But definitely the guy, I think he has a point. The demand curve has shifted to the right. I think not only the Tilibonkas, even the Kiankas are now taking tapalapa.
Ah, well, I love tapalapa.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because I didn't know about the Senfood one. I got to know about this last year. It's very good.
It is.
It's very, very good.
Honestly.
Tapalapa Senfood.
Honestly.
Now, what can we expect the economy of the Gambia to have in store for us, especially this year in 2013, with the current uncertain trend in global food and fuel prices?
I think we are expecting better times. According to the economic forecast agreed upon by both the Gambia Bureau of Statistics and the International Monetary Fund, we are expecting economic growth upward of 10% in 2013. Partly because we are growing from a lower base because we had crop failure in 2011 and those effects spilled out into 2012. So we're going to have bigger growth. The central bank continues its policies of price stability. Inflation, we don't expect it to be higher than 6%. The exchange rate is expected to appreciate a bit in 2013, and the Honorable Minister of Finance during his budget speech has reiterated government's resolve to make sure that fiscal policy is prudent to support and sustain macro stability that we've earned over the years.
Okay, and now let's talk about this VAT, because I know if I didn't, it's one thing that kind of dominated my whole Facebook page. And last year there's been a lot of talk on the introduction of VAT. You know, the last time, I think it was yesterday, I went to buy some chocolate cake, and I realized that what was put on the top was like almost $30 or something dollars, and I had to ask them why, and they said VAT. How exactly does it affect people's daily life, and what does it mean for the average consumer?
Okay, this is where the power of government to impose and regulate taxes comes. You see, just by a single policy change, you are being deprived of your chocolate cake. Maybe it's good. It will help all of us to lose some more weight. But the thing is, you know, we started having problems here when the Sarahule started running supermarkets. The other day I walked into a Sarahule supermarket and the guy was busy increasing the prices of his commodities. I'm saying why?
Yeah.
He said, "Badi bunko kanam batandi, mama iko value added, iko mole fengol dollar fa."
So he didn't
I said
understand.
no.
So
all
he
right.
thought because
By the way, that's a joke because I'm a badi bunka, but that's exactly what's happening in some quarters.
Okay.
There was a friend of mine who observed this, that some of them will just hear value added, they think they should increase the price of commodities. No.
Yeah.
Value added tax is not a new tax.
That's why I told GRA they need to do more.